Hey guys, this is John from LoneWolfPack Interactive, and I'm here to show you a brand new tool called LTexturePacker. Basically what it is a tool that will let you combine a bunch of your textures into one gigantic texture. Now the use of that is, it reduces draw calls. Unity does something called batching, where it'll draw meshes that share the same texture and material at once. So having all of your textures into one gigantic material will draw a whole bunch of meshes that wouldn't normally be batched together at once. It's extremely easy, and I'll just run you through it really quickly just to show you how easy it is. So here it is, the texture packer. As soon as you open it, this is what you'll see. And to add textures in, all you need to do is select your texture and hit add selected textures. And you can add them one at a time. Or you can select the entire folder and it will add all of them at once. It will try to create a texture that is as square as possible. Now moving on, the texture packer will actually export an XML and an enumerator along with the texture when you go to export it. And this is so that you can use this giant texture in your project, either via code or editors, and use this texture without any hassle whatsoever. Now one of the things we let you do with LTexturePacker is actually name the sprites within your texture. So all you need to do is select it, and you can name your sprites whatever you want, so clouds for example, or random colors. Oh. Helps if I can spell. And you can also just rename the texture that you're going to be exporting. So Atlas texture 01. And all this extra information is the actual position of the texture within your atlas. You can't change it, it's basically just for curiosity reasons, really. Alright, so when you name your textures to whatever you want, or you're just ready to just export it, all you have to do is hit export and you're good to go. And it will build your texture, and it will add a folder under LTexturePacker called exported textures, like so. And within there, any textures that you export will have its own folder so that everything's more organized. You see right here we have our texture and the XML file with all of the texture position information and the enumerator for the programmers. And I say it's for the programmers because we include an extremely easy to use tool for programming purposes that will let you change the UVs of the mesh with at maximum 2 lines of code. And I'll actually show you how to do that right now. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a cube to the scene. And I'll make sure that the camera is actually facing the cube. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag the texture right onto the cube, and in game view you see this. Now I'm going to create just an example class. So we'll call it new behavior script, because it really doesn't matter. It's just an example. Alright, so we'll drag on new behavior script and we'll just open it up to edit it. And the start function, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a mesh variable called this mesh. And we're just going to grab the mesh off of this object's mesh filter. And then from here, the one line of code that will change the UVs will be LTexturePacker utility and set mesh UVs, and we need to include the C# keyword ref and then this mesh. And what this does is pass the actual mesh into the function so that it can modify it, and then you can use it wherever you want. And then from here, we use that enumerator that we exported. So we have our Atlas Texture 01, and we can go with random colors. Now, when we hit start, the random color texture should be applied to the entire cube. Like so. And that's basically it. It's extremely easy to use code-wise and editor-wise. So this is John from LoneWolfPack Interactive, and this was the LTexturePacker, available on the Unity Asset Store.